Real true education, not fake news. How are you? It's the 27th of June 2020 and this video is on Derrybrien, also known as Garth Wind Farm, and it's to replace an earlier one under the same number 7D, which I've removed because there were a number of inaccuracies in it, and the biggest one of all was a loss which was represented and told in it as a profit. So I have to take it down. It was drawn to my attention by a few people that there was mistakes. So the minute we noticed a mistake, we correct it. So Derrybrien Wind Farm was built in 2003. There was a landslide because there was no environmental impact assessment done on the effect it would have on the peat that was on the mountain where it was built in County Galway near Garth. Originally the EU fined Ireland €1.7 million, and after that locals took a court case to try to stop it, but Miss Justice Dunn rejected the application and allowed it to go ahead. Now the EIA directive, which requires this type of assessment, was brought out in 1985, but it wasn't until 2010 that the Planning and Development Act was amended to ensure that there has to be an EIA, and that gives certain rights for public participation. So government tried to avoid doing it as long as it could. Now government has since paid a €5 million EU fine for letting it continue, plus €15,000 for every day it continues. So every day it's up there, it's costing us €15,000. Now the accounts of it I have for 2015, 16, 17 and 18 show they're paying interest of these amounts: 155,000, 112,000 and 70,000. And based on current interest rates, that would indicate that they have loans of about 1.4 million. But nearly all of their backing comes from the Electricity Supply Board, the Irish electricity provider, DSB. And their fixed assets is shown at cost at 68 million originally in 2016. And in 2017, the value, they had already depreciated to 29.3 million, but here in 2017 the value was brought down to 19.6. The ESB wrote off 10.1 million of assets that they were owed for, and in 2000 that brought it down to 19.6 million, and 2018 they put up the value again a bit because the ESB, it must be, or somebody gave them a big lump of money or promised it to help them decommission it. Decommissioning could be up to 8-9 million there in that case. So anyway, we're not sure where the source of the money is. The accounts don't show it, but the ESB bailed them out to 10.1. In other words, they bought the wind farm and they couldn't repay it. The company couldn't repay it, so they forgive them 10.1 million, and that's only the start of it. So the value shown in the accounts is 64 million, 2016 54 million, and then it went up in 2017 to 68 million, and then it went up again in 2018 to 71.4 million because they got this cash injection. But the wind farm itself is still not increasing in value at all. Now the auditing during the period was done by KPG of 2016 and PricewaterhouseCoopers after that. Now the operating pre-tax profit for 2015 is 199,000. It's 2.378 million for 2016. Loss. That's 199,000 profit 2015. A loss of 2.3 million in 2016, and a loss of, when they went to account for depreciation, a loss of 11.5 million in 2017. The profits for 2018 was 995,000. So this loss here had to be fixed, and the way it was fixed was they got a forgiveness from the ESB of 10.1 million. The net book value in 2015, that's the value of the wind farm, was 32.5 million. 2016 it was 29.3 million, and that takes account of a little depreciation there, roughly 3 million there depreciation, which is normal but not enough. And you see it fell here in 2017 to 19.4 because of the 10 million forgiveness, and now it's gone up a bit again because somebody like the ESB, it must be, I presume, gave them another lump of money to decommission it, and that's held on the books as an asset because they got to decommission it. Now, to my way of thinking, it's not a great way of doing it. I mean, decommissioning does not make a profit, it's a liability, and it could be a lot more. Now they also say in their accounts they have a 40 million facility with their other group companies for something or other, and their kind of suggestion is to decommission it and take it out of there as well, because it'll have to be taken out of there. We'll be fined forever. Other wind farms will probably lie there for hundreds of years, but if it lies there, the fine continues. So just to show you what happened then in 2018 was, it was originally valued at 64.4. It went up to, they added this money they got to decommission of nearly 7 million, 6.9, and that brought the value up to 71.4, and then they depreciated that. It's a complex thing. They depreciated that to bring it to the current value. Now their accounts show that they have receivables due to them of 11.9 million, their due money there. They have liabilities of 21 million and within 1 year, and 11 million after 1 year. So they have 31 million between 1 and 5 and after 5 years. In other words, debt, and they only have 11.9 coming in. Okay, so I make that to mean that they owe 21 million there. Okay, now so there's a provision then, as I said, for 6 million. That's a provision where you provide for something, like if you're being sued in case somebody might get an award against you, or you have some liability like decommissioning it or getting rid of it. Unlike most assets, wind farms are costly to take out of there. If you have a tractor and it has still some old value, it might be worth something. It'd be worth something for the metal. But wind farms are not like that. They're more like a little lorry, little truck that a warehouse would have, or a hardware company would have to deliver stuff around. It should be depreciated over about 11 years. It'll probably last 14 or 15. That's it. And once the time is up, they're junk. They're no good. They're just thrown in a scrapyard. You might get 300 or 400 euros for them for bits of parts. So these things are depreciating big time, and as I said, there's a provision for decommissioning there of 6 million, and not every company can have that. If they didn't have a backup parent company to give them all this money, they wouldn't be able to go ahead. And the other issue then is, if they didn't have a parent company, they couldn't go ahead anyway. They'd be gone wallop long ago. Now, just to look at the current situation. In the next, this wind farm will have to be taken out about 2005. The 20-year depreciation ends in 2005, and these wind farms are less likely to last long after that. They could go to a while longer because they have a 25-year planning permission, but they're really getting old at this stage. So essentially in 2025 they will have to go. So by that, if they stay there, they'll cost us 27.3 million in fines, 15,000 a day, 27.3 million in fines. It could cost over 6 million to get rid of it, and the profits are only 4 million at present, right? 4 million. So if we take this 27 and this 6, well, there's about 33 million there of a cost to somebody, and there's only 4, so there's still a 27 million losses being accrued there to somebody. So absolutely basket case, an absolute basket case. But if I'm confusing you a bit, remember we have to pay 27 million if that stays there. Now the only possible profit with the current depreciation, which is only 2.76, it's not enough. The only profit would be 4 million, okay? It owes 21 million, and the taxpayer will have to pay 27 million, and the total there will be about 47 million between the owner and the taxpayer, right, by just belligerently keeping it there. So as I say, we will pay 27 directly in fines, and they'll make 4 in that period, in that total period. That's from now to 2005 when it's decommissioned. They'll only make 4 million. So we're getting caught for 27. Well, we won't get the 4, but somebody's caught for 23. Okay, so the taxpayers caught for 27 to keep this there. They can only make 4 million, and that's 23 million of a shortfall. So depreciation in the charge of 2018 was 2766, and it should be 4 because it's valued in the books at around 20 million, and it has 5 years to go at best. Now it's less than that, but 5 years to go, and that's 4 million per year. But they're only allowing 2766, which is not a proper write-down. And this is a feature of everything I say. The whole accounts of many companies has inflated asset values. So what we're seeing here then is losses, 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 losses. And the right thing to do with that wind farm now is shut it down. Inform the EU that it's been shut down and it's been removed, and get it out of there. Because it can't make money. They don't want to accept this. We have a new government. We have 158 members of the Dáil and 60 senators. Not one of them will look at this cost to the taxpayer, because it'll show the whole thing was a massive, massive, big scam. So it's losses, losses, losses all the way, with Derrybrien, also called Garth Wind Farm, near Garth in County Galway, and the environmental damage, there was 50,000 trout. 50,000 trout killed in that landslide. There it is. 50,000 trout killed in that landslide. You couldn't make it up. You really couldn't make it up that this is going on in the name of the environment. Folks, thank you very much for watching in. I'm glad I got that a short video, and we'll see you back for something else, and sure, give it a thumbs up. And I'm sorry for getting it wrong, but I think that's a kind of a plus, because if I get it wrong and I correct it, that's the right thing. There's no need. Everyone can make a mistake. I simply put in losses as a profit, and I took down the video, and that's all that I can do. So with that, folks, we'll let you go, and thank you very, very much, and see you back for something new, okay?